Now you have the So Fine Spanglish version. How was it working with Howard Johnson?
Well, I'm good friends with Howard. I just recently worked with him on a project overseas. There was another guy that he had done quite a few things with. His name is Regis Branson, and just maybe a few years back, like 2003, 2004, there was a release of a CD in Europe, UK, and Japan on a small label there, and we did a kind of a new updated version of it. So I pretty much had that. When I played it for Techeetah, she was like, "Wow, we could do this instead," because we were having a hard time connecting with Janice. So far as her scheduling was concerned,
and
she was doing gigs. She was doing gigs. No, we talked about it.
Right.
Great woman.
She and
absolutely great.
She and
I had the pleasure of meeting her in 1977 when Boogie Oogie came out.
I spoke to Janice today, man. She's
doing well.
She's doing her thing, man. She's always doing gigs, just like Paris and everybody. So anyway, the whole picture came together. So Paris is gonna come do the session. Everything's set up. We had already had Howard on it.
Right.
And the thing with Howard was already on the song. So that was previous. It was a done deal, but we didn't have that super Latin live flavor on it.
Right.
So,
because she let me hear it, and she said, "What do you really think about it?" I said, "Well,
it's trying to be.
It would sound better if I was on it." She said, "But what do you mean?" And I said, "Well, because
he's something else, man.
If you're
You remind me of my real brother.
If you're gonna present, see, I'm about
authenticity,
the authentic Latin sound. If you're gonna bring Latin, I mean,
yes.
If we're gonna have the nerve to call it So Fine Spanglish, then we're gonna have to dang, 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 dang.
And he definitely put that on.
He had to come on with his
And it has a very nice Latin jazz flavor to it that is going to get it on over the charts, I do believe.
Thank you.
I mean, it is such a phenomenal song. I was listening to it today, and so were some of my neighbors. Because I had it that loud.
You had a
but
on
it was really, really moving. It's a very powerful song. I mean, and you can hear the timbales, your wonderful vocals, your production expertise on it.
I was in there.
I even brought my boy and Eddie Rouse too on congas.
Oh yeah.
And that's what I was going to do. Techeetah, tell me some of the other musicians who are performing with you on this big hit.
Gerardo Nuño.
Okay.
Actually, Gerardo Nuño. There's Eddie, Paris.
And Gerardo, I think, produced some of your earlier material, or wrote some of your earlier material on your earlier CD. And who else do you have performing with you?
That was pretty much about it.
I did the rest of the instruments.
Yeah,
are you serious? Really?
He's a man. Oh my gosh, he's everything.
What instruments did you play on that, Dave?
Well, I did the original arrangement, keys, the guitar, bass, laid out the track, production.
Right.
And then we brought in, the live stuff. But Gerardo put the initial Latin
flavor to it.
Yeah. He played some other keyboards on there as well. Actually, it was the both of us, just like she said. It was the both of us who did the original arrangement.
Right.
And production on the Latin flavor. And then Paris and his boy Eddie came and slapped down the live feel on it.
And machine congas and stuff out.
Yeah.
I was like,
but that doesn't
we checked that out.
Yeah.
Well, that's what Gerardo initially introduced.
Yeah, but it was still on point. But we needed to get the feel.
Yeah.
El sabor.
Now let me ask you.
He just had to claim it.
That's a moving song. Now, what other songs do you want to talk about? Some of the other songs that you're going to be performing also, because So Fine Spanglish is going to be the single. Is that correct?
That's the lead-off single. Yes.
Okay. What else can we expect on your upcoming CD?
On the single, the other one on there is Oye Viejito.
Okay.
There's three other featured songs on the single.
That's what I'm trying to get. Okay.
Oye Viejito, and that one. I wrote that one for my grandfather.
That's beautiful.
And on the middle of that one, actually I wrote that one while I was sitting at Denny's. And there was this old man drinking a cup of coffee. And I was thinking to myself, my grandfather always sits down drinking a cup of coffee looking like that old man. I wonder what old men think of when they're drinking cup of coffee,
Right.
So, and that's what the song says, Oye viejito, ¿por qué se ve tan triste? It's like, oh man, why do you look so sad?
Oh, okay. So
drinking your cup of coffee, right? And so, anyway, I asked my grandpa one day, Grandpa, why do you look so sad when you're drinking your coffee? And I think he's going to give me this really sad story about, I've gone through this hard life and blah, blah, blah. And I've already written the story and stuff, right? He goes, I'm sitting here thinking about your grandma's tamales.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm like, oh my gosh. You know what I'm thinking? You know, but, unfortunately, in the middle of the song, my grandfather passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, so.
She tells a story, but it's a
I'm
great.
sorry to hear that.
She does. That story is partially. It's still Spanglish. She does the chorus in Spanish, and she tells the story in English, so it has that same Spanglish. But the feature, like I love what he did on So Fine.
Yes.
But I super love what he did on Yevejito.
I can't wait to hear that. Yeah,
Oh, that song.
I cannot wait to sample
And his
that.
boy Eddie did little congas, and I did it. I had to get in there a little bit on there too.
Yeah, we had the drum line going.
There you
Yeah,
go.
we was, you know.
Now, I know that, Paris, your jazz background, Latin jazz, is through your great father, the late, great Cochran Escovedo, who was inducted into Bay Area Hall of Fame. And it's Jazz and Blues Hall of Fame. I think it was 2008 that your dad was inducted with that. And we know your jazz background and how much you love jazz, Latin jazz, and everything that it brings forward. David, what about you? Did your jazz background influence this particular project that you worked on with Techeetah?
Greatly. I mean, you know, several genres of music as a producer I take part in, and jazz, you know, being a, deep embedded musician. Yeah, you know, so it was great. It was a pleasure to do this type of project, man. I mean, I play sax as well. You know, I have some jazz things out there, but just to be able to work with Paris, I know his cousin Sheila. She's great.
Of course,
everybody knows Sheila E.
And his uncle Pete.
He come from greatness. This man,
he does.
the bloodline. He come from the bloodline again. So it was a pleasure to be able to work with them all, man. I mean, you know, it was just
you know, when she told me David Costa, are you serious? She said yes. I said, if you don't mind if I come and hit the skins? She said no.
That was all love, man.
Right.
No. I said, man, you know, you said Atlantic Stars.
Yeah, you knew you had to be a part of the situation.
Part of this, no matter what. She said, well, you know, there's not really, you know, budget's not there yet, but hey, this is love.
Right,
Coming from
He
love.
came with love
Because
you put together independently.
we're all musicians, you know, and we're trying to get to that next that level. So I mean, it's all love.